Hello foodies, annyeong! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jenny Moon. If you clicked on today's video, you're probably wondering, how do I make my makeup look better? Maybe you just started getting into makeup, or maybe you want to explore some ways to upgrade that base makeup game, that eyeliner game, that lash game. Girl, I got you. As someone that has been obsessed with makeup for over the past 10 years, I'm gonna try to give you all the little tips and tricks that you probably didn't think about so that our makeup game is staying strong. So without further ado, let's get into this beat. Okay, so first of all, I already have my skincare on, and that's the first thing. Never skip skincare, and make sure you let that shit fully absorb. These are the products that I use for today's skincare routine. Make sure to choose products that don't sit on top of your skin. This could mean skipping like a very heavy cream in the morning and opting for something lighter like a lotion instead for your moisturizer, or just going straight into sunscreen. That's going to really help prevent your foundation from peeling. And give it 1 to 2 minutes for it to fully absorb. You could change your clothes after your skincare or do your hair, whatever floats your boat. I love using makeup sponges, and I definitely recommend using something like this if you're a makeup beginner. And make sure to, 1, dampen a makeup sponge with lukewarm water. Never cold water, because in my experience, that kind of separates the foundation from the skin, whereas the warmer temperature is going to help melt the foundation into your skin. This actually makes a big difference, guys. And when you're wringing out the sponge to get rid of the excess water, do it really good. I even like to get a paper towel like this and wring it out one more time to really make sure all that excess water from the sponge is gone. Because when you're blending the foundation with a sponge, if you have too much excess water, the water is going to mix with your foundation, and that's going to make your base look kind of ugly, and we don't want that. This is the foundation I'm going to use today. Choosing the right foundation for you can be pretty difficult, but if you know your undertone, it's actually not that hard. I would highly recommend finding your foundation actually in store. See yourself in bright lighting and then swatching it right here and see which foundation swatch disappears into your skin right here. That's gonna be the perfect shade for you. I have the foundation pumped on the back of my hand, and usually I'll take a foundation spatula or a foundation brush to spread it out evenly across my face. But you can actually get a similar effect pretty easily by just taking your finger and spread the foundation evenly across your face like this. Doing this instead of, let's say, just like dotting the foundation on your face like this, or even like pumping it on the face. Oh, let's not do that. I promise you, spreading the foundation evenly on your face first before you start going in and blending, it's going to make the biggest difference in making your base look more natural. Do the same across my forehead and my nose. And if you guys can tell, I'm not putting that much foundation at once. And especially like foundation on my forehead, I'm not taking it all the way up to my hairline. And same for my jawline as well. I'm just putting it in the center, but never all the way to the edge. If we were to put a lot of foundation all the way to the edges of our face, then it's gonna look like we have a mask on, and we don't want that. What we really want is skin that just looks like skin. And this is primarily going to be achieved by putting thin layers of foundation rather than putting a bunch of foundation on your face at once. This is how our skin is looking with just 1 layer of foundation. Already it's looking pretty good, but I do like to go in with a second layer on my cheeks where I do need more coverage. Over my acne scars, I don't take the foundation up to my under eye because we're going to do under eye concealer. So really focusing it just on the center area of my face. Here's how we're looking after 2 layers. And overall, everything looks pretty good, but my skin is pretty dry right now because it is winter time and the New York winter winds it's something else. I do see a small dry patch right here, and we all experience dry patches when we're putting on foundation. And putting more foundation over it never helps, but there is a trick that I like to do if I want to get rid of the dry patch. If you watch my short, you probably already know about this, but take a cotton swab and take any moisturizing toner or serum. I'm gonna take this one from Mixsoon. Wet the cotton swab with the skincare. Do you guys see that dry patch right there? We're gonna take off the dry skin cells with the cotton swab. And then we're gonna just tap in the excess product so that it stays moisturized. I actually see some here, so I'm gonna do that here as well. And then tap, tap, tap. And then take the leftover foundation, put a little bit on the sponge, and then go over the area that we just took off. And voila! It's looking so much better. For our under eyes, we're using this today from YesStyle. If you're finding that you need more coverage with your liquid concealers, try laying down the concealer and letting it dry for 1 to 2 minutes before you blend it out. Now, this tip works if there aren't that many mattifying powder properties in the concealer. If the concealer sets very fast, then you should immediately blend it out. But with a moisturizing concealer like this one, I'm allowed to let it sit there for a minute, which is going to increase the coverage. While that's drying, we're going to spot conceal our dark spots using one of my favorite cream concealers. This just has really high coverage, and I love using this product with a big brush like this, which makes blending so fast. Always control the amount of product on the brush by using the back of your hand as a palette, so that once you're applying the product on your skin, you're not applying too much. And then once you need more product, you can just go back onto your hand, grab some more, and blend away. For the first layer of putting down the cream concealer, I like to think that I'm just evening out the skin tone to make sure that the concealer is matching the foundation underneath. And for the second layer, it's really more about the precision and really making sure that the dark spots are covered. You want to apply the concealer in a smaller area and use a lighter touch. The spot coverage is looking so good. Now it's time to blend out the under eye concealer. For this step, I'm really trying not to move the sponge around like everywhere. I'm really trying to keep the product where I applied it, which is where I need the coverage. And with that, our base makeup is complete. We still have a little bit of glow and the base is not looking too heavy, and it is exactly what we want. The point is using foundation just to even out your skin tone and using concealer with precision to get the extra coverage just where you need. We're gonna move on to the brows. I am always using this product from Shu Uemura, and I feel like you guys are probably tired of me using it, but I'm convinced that there is no better brow product out there than this for me. What makes a brow pencil really good for me is when it doesn't bunch up and not having too high of a pigmentation so that your brows don't look like Jungkook's brows. I'll be real with you guys, I already have pretty good brows to start with, so I don't need to do much. But what I will say is that brow trends go in and out, but what will never, ever be out of style are natural brows. And honestly, I achieved that the best by using this brow pencil and just doing very, very light feathery strokes, starting with where I need the most help, which is like right here where I kind of have like brow holes, and my strokes are very short to mimic the length of my actual brow hairs. We're not going like this. We're doing very light, small, feathery strokes. And I'm pretty satisfied with how that's looking. And I'll try to replicate the same on my other brow. And I really like how those brows are looking. You can use a spoolie brush to kind of brush through the front of the brows. Set the hairs in place and blend the brow product. And you can use a brow mascara to make these brows look even nicer, but I don't think it's necessary, so we're gonna skip that. And now we're going to move into the color. So like the eyeshadow, the blush, and the lips. This is where we need to put our thinking caps on. Before you start going in with your brush and just slapping color on, think about what kind of look do I want to create today? Am I going for a natural look? Am I going for like a pinky tone look? Am I gonna go strong with my eyeliner? And as you're thinking about this, we're going to make sure that the balance of the strength of the color between the eyes, cheeks, and the lips are all balanced out. So let's say I want to go really strongly on the eyes, then maybe I'll go lighter on the cheeks. So if the eyes are like 60%, the cheeks and the lips would be 20%. And in addition to the strength, we also have to think about the tones. Let's say I want to rock a really pretty pink lip color. It's going to look really beautiful if I use a similar tone pink color on my cheeks instead of an orange, which is going to kind of not fit. I think it's really important to match your makeup to your outfit and the occasion of where you're wearing the makeup to. And since I'm wearing like a pretty casual white cardigan, I want to keep things looking pretty light, fun, and a little bit flirty. In order to achieve that, I'm going to use a lot of peach tones in my makeup today. I think this eyeshadow palette is going to be perfect. It's from M Cosmetics. With every eye makeup look, you want to set down the matte shadows first and then the shimmer. So I'm going to lay down this matte peachy color all over my lids. And the reason why you do this is because if you put shimmer down first and then matte, the matte shadow is going to turn into a shimmer as you're blending. The purpose of using a matte shadow is to really create depth. Not only to add color, but to also make your eyes look deeper. Usually, most of the time, the color should be the most darkest closest to your lash line, and it should get lighter as you go closer to your brows. Always tap off the excess because we always want to control the amount of product that we're putting on our face. And if you're new into makeup and you need to buy a lot of makeup brushes, I highly recommend e.l.f. Cosmetics. I've been using this eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. since forever. I love this eyeshadow brush. It's so good. And they have a lot of other good brushes as well. And then I'm going to take this deeper brown matte shade on a smaller brush and then create shadow at the outer 1/3 of my lower lash line. We want to start closest to the lash line, put the most pigment there, and then blend outwards. Now that our matte shadows are on, I want to put a little bit of shimmer on the center of my lids. So I'm going to actually take my finger and go into this shade right here. Using your finger for shimmer shades is actually going to be amazing for preventing fallout. I love applying the color first with my fingers like so, and then taking a brush to blend out the edges. We're going to take a break from the shadow and then move on to the eyeliner. If you're a beginner at makeup, using a pencil liner is going to be probably the easiest for you to do. I think that liquid eyeliners can have a little bit higher of a learning curve, but it is also more precise. Today we're going to start with a pencil liner, and I always like to start with the bottom of my wing. And as I'm doing this, I'm imagining that the line is going straight. So now we got that nice line for the bottom part of my wing. And now I want to make the top line of my wing. I'll start right around where the edge of my iris is. And then just make a straight line from here to the end point of the wing that I just created. If you're having a hard time with the pencil liner not drying accurately, it's probably because there's probably oil buildup on the pencil. So just wipe off some of the product on a tissue. I like how the wing is looking, so I'm just going to do the rest of my liner and do the same on the other eye. I actually had to switch my liner halfway through because this one was too dry for me. The ColourPop BFF liner is so much better. But now that our pencil liner is on, we always want to set eyeliner with eyeshadow. Trust me, this makes the biggest difference in making sure that the liner lasts all day. No creasing. Gonna take this dark brown eyeshadow on a liner brush, go right over our pencil eyeliner. And not only does this increase the longevity of your eyeliner, it also makes it look better. You can really fine-tune the edges of your liner. And this is especially important if you're using a pencil liner because there's less precision with pencil eyeliners. So when you're going back in with the shadow, you're really reinforcing the shape that you want to create. And like that, our eyeliner is on. Moving on to the lashes. A tip that has really helped me curl my lashes is when you're placing the lash curler, put more force at this part of your lash curler kind of tilt the lash curler towards your nose. And that's really going to help you get a good lift for the inner and the center of your lashes. And that's what's really important because eyeliner is enlarging your eyes horizontally and your lashes are enlarging your eyes vertically. If you want to create a C curl shape, you do need to curl your entire lashes like this. Definitely use a waterproof mascara if you have short lashes like me. Always change your mascara every 3 months. Start from the root of your lashes and go up in zigzag motions. And the most important thing would be that the last step of the zigzag needs to be towards your nose. Unless you want your lashes to go like this, then the last step should be towards the edge of your face. But I want my lashes to go like this, which is why the last step of my stroke needs to go like this. It's nice to do one eye at a time, so applying mascara right after you curl your lashes. This really ensures that you're setting the curl when you have just done it. And once you have 2 coats of mascara on, you can use a tweezer like this, clump together the itty bitty lashes that would look good together. And truth be told, this is as good as my lashes are gonna get because I have basically nothing that I'm working with. But I'm not using falsies today because this is a beginner's tutorial. And you know what? Sometimes we like the itty bitty lash look. I like to complete the lower part of my eyes after my lashes. So just using this YesStyle pencil to kind of highlight my YesStyle just a little bit. And then setting that with a shimmer shade from the initial eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna use this on a very small bullet brush and set the YesStyle liner that we just set down. And also putting that same shade on the inner corner. Actually, I want to add a little bit more contour. And now the eye makeup is complete. Yay! I would rate the strength of this eye makeup look as medium, a good like 5 out of 10. So I want to put medium strength into my cheeks and lighter strength onto my lips. You guys are gonna see what I mean in a second. I've been loving using cream cheeks these days, so I'm going to use this one from ColourPop. This beautiful salmon color I think is going to go really nicely with my eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with my finger and add the color. Ooh, oh my god, this color is so beautiful. I do like using my ring finger for blush application, and that is because your ring finger actually has the weakest strength, and you don't want to like press on your skin too hard after we worked so hard on the base makeup. And when I'm blending on the blush, I'm never letting the color go underneath my nose because that's going to drag down our face and we don't want that. I like my blush to be the darkest right in this area, so I'm always thinking of that as I'm blending. Like I'll start right here because that's where I want the blush to be the darkest, and then I'm blending outwards. And the blush is looking so cute just as it is right now, but I do want to add a powder blush on top. Love this blush from Clinique. It has micro shimmers in it, so it's going to maintain the glow that we have going on. And these days, I just love using more than one blush. It really makes the cheeks look extra dimensional. And that just really elevated the entire blush look. Take some of that leftover color on the brush and just quickly run it across your chin and also the edges of your forehead. Doing this really pulls the entire colors together. I've been loving this contour powder from Too Cool for School. I just take a big brush like this. Always top off the excess. And this is the area that I'm always the most concerned about. We want to create a sharper jawline. And in Korea, we say that we want to create a smaller face. And if we look straight on, adding shadow right here is going to create a slimmer face. You might not want a slimmer face, and that's completely okay. Adding shadows right here is just really going to make your face look less flat, more dimensional. And it also makes the foundation look less noticeable. Right underneath the chin. Honestly, it makes a really big difference. We'll run some along the hairline so that this shadow color is evenly distributed throughout our face. It's really nice if you have that contour color kind of connect to the blush right here. A little bit of nose contour. Again, where you first touch your face is where the color is going to be the most pigmented. And for me, I want the nose contour to be the most pigmented right here because that's where my nose bridge is the lowest. As you're contouring, try to follow the actual hollows of your bone structure and look at the mirror straight on to see where you need to add more color to make the nose contour look more even. I said I wanted to go light on the lips today, so I'm going to first use this lip liner. I used to think that lip liners don't make that much of a difference, but it actually really does, guys. And we're just gonna use this peachy gloss on top. Looking so cute. But now, do you guys see what I mean by like the balance of everything? I think if I had a really dark lippy on, let's say like a really dark matte plum color, that wouldn't have looked good. But because we thought ahead of what colors we want to use and what we wanted to emphasize, everything is looking very harmonious. I'm gonna pop on a little bit of this peachy highlighter right at the top of my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, the nose bridge. If you went a little too strong on the highlight, then just take the sponge that we use for foundation and just take some of it off. And with some setting spray, this look is complete. Tell me, what are we thinking about this final makeup look? I tried to not use pinks today because I feel like I'm always using pink tones. I really do like how everything turned out. The peachy colors are really giving spring. And I really hope that the makeup tips that we discussed today helps you out. Give some of them a try. Let me know in the comments which tip you're going to be trying out. And let me know if it makes a difference in your makeup routine. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye! 안녕!